Hello, and welcome to another edition of Shane's Public Domain Song Series, where we take old songs before 1922, no copyright protection, and we study the folklore and the history behind the song and the way the lyrics change. We go over the chords and learn how to play it on guitar so you can bring it to your local folk music group or just sit around and play with yourself and have fun like I do sometimes. So today we're going to be doing The Little Old Log Cabin in the Lane. And it comes from 1871 by a guy named Will S. Hayes. And he's quite a character. Look him up on the Wikipedia sometime. He claimed that he wrote Dixie, but was never proven. So anyways, he wrote this song for minstrel shows. And the original lyrics are, of course, highly offensive for today's words, not to mention putting the paint on the face and everything, which I won't be doing today, of course. But in 1875, the song was printed into sheet music, piano and guitar sheet music, and a group called Manning's Minstrels recorded it sometime between 1875 and 1899. And they were probably one of the first recordings of it. But a lot of people actually credit the first recording to a guy named Silas Leachman. Silas Leachman out of Chicago. He was a pioneer in the recording music industry. He started working for Columbia and Victor in the 1890s doing the wax cylinders and stuff. And so he did a recording of this song. Sometimes he recorded other people who were playing it, so you be the judge of that. And basically, Vernon Dalhart was credited with a lot of people. One of the first ones to record it in about 1922. And that one I found on YouTube and everything. Somebody recorded the little scratchy 78 RPM or little record or whatever, and listen to the lyrics of it, and and I go through each of these versions. I try to find the old versions on YouTube and find what key they played in, listen to the lyrics, how the lyrics change, and write it all down. And you'll see I eventually morph the song into mine and take lyrics from all the different versions throughout time, and then make my version, paying homage to the original version by Will S. Hayes and Vernon Dalhart and the people who did it in the early days. There's a lot of people who did it. I'll put the list up. I'm not going to go through it all because we'd be here all day, but basically a guy named Carol Clark did it, Metropolitan Quartet, and some others. A lot of people don't credit them as the first recordings because not many were made. They weren't marketed in a Sears catalog and things like that. So in about 1923, a guy named Fiddlin John Carlson was recorded. And he is credited with the first recording. If you go to Wikipedia, it says he's the first guy to record the song, first white rural musician to record the song. But that's actually not very technically accurate. The more proper way to look at it is he was the one who's so closely associated with the song. His recording became popular. It was more copies were made. It was more distributed more, and it had an effect on the whole industry, not only just bluegrass and folk and country, but the whole recording industry at the time, for it to really realize that, hey, we can put stuff on records and make money off of it. And of course, flash forward now, you got iTunes that can sell you a song through the internet, and so that's why Fiddlin John Carlson is credited with the first person to record it. And he's also the people who, a lot of people grew up listening to it, since his record was distributed more people heard it, more people played versions of it. So people growing up learning the banjo and the guitar heard that record or heard their father play that version of John Carlson's, and it blossomed, and it has exploded into a bluegrass staple. It's been done by, like I said, hundreds of artists, musicians, and bands. You hear it at bluegrass festivals all the time. It's like in the top 3 of bluegrass staples, bluegrass classics of all time. just to name a few people through the years that have done it. In 1928, a black African American banjo player. He played the 5-string clawhammer style. His name was Uncle John Scruggs. Uncle John Scruggs, 2 G's, and you can look him up on YouTube. It's actually Fox Movietone News went down to Powhatan, Virginia in 1928 and filmed him, and the film survived, and it's good quality. The sound is pretty good quality for 1928. So, Google it after my version and listen to it. His is a real lengthy version. He kind of ad-libs the words, just having fun. The kids are dancing, and kind of brings it back to the original minstrel lyrics of the song, which brings me kind of the history of the song. That's what it is. Originally the song was written, a minstrel song written from the perspective of a former slave. He was freed because his master died or what have you. I don't know. It was just something to the effect of he is an ex-slave. He comes back to the homestead or the plantation, and he sees the old mansion. The chimney is caved in. The chimney is fallen down. The roof is caved in, and the master and missus is dead and buried, and and all he's got is his little dog and his little log cabin in the lane and a few years left in life. And it's just kind of a sad, morose song. Some people think it was kind of cheesy kind of song, but it's real life. That's what folk country is about: 3 chords and the truth. And so flash forward, these versions go back and forth. John Carlson left some of the minstrel show words out that I'm not going to be singing today either, that are offensive. Later on, the master and missus became just the mama and papa. When it became the bluegrass staple, which I'll be doing today, and the song we all know and love today, it just became the bluegrass standard classic song where the old person goes back to the homestead, parents dead, friends all dead, past grown over, the creeks changed the course, and and everything's gone from when he's as a kid, and he's feeling morose and sad about it. So that's the version I'm going to be singing today. Let's see some other people that are notable. Hundreds have done it. I'm just going to go through a dozen maybe. In the 1930s, a guy named Riley Puckett played it, a really good version. And in the 50s, Jim and Jesse McReynolds played it. They're a great group. Jesse McReynolds invented the cross-picking mandolin style. Study him. And then it was just played from the 50s onwards all up to now. It's even a staple now. In 2010, the Boxcars did a great snappy version of it, a really great recording. They raised the key way up, and so this song has been played in many different tempos, many different keys and stuff like that. And so that's what I've done. I've gone back in, I've studied the first recorded version all the way back to the first one I could find was the Vernon Dalhart, 1922 Vernon Dalhart version. I studied a few, like the 1918 Metropolitan Quartet, but it was mostly vocals and very stuttery. It's not the country bluegrass that we know. A guy named I studied the Carol C. Clark back in 1909. A lot of banjo that they would play really fast, stop, and then play a different time and go back and forth. I'm not going to be really doing that much. I did find an early 1904 version by Bob Roberts and Vess L, which is worth noting about too, that I've studied and on. After Vernon Dalhart, I studied, of course, Fiddlin, John Carlson's song, studied that. And then Riley Puckett's version, Fiddling Powers and Family did a version in 1924 that I studied. I studied Uncle John Scruggs in 1928. I studied sometime in the 30s the Binkley Brothers Dixie Clodhoppers recorded it. And what's interesting to note about the evolution of the song is sometimes someone would take the words of the verse and put it in the chorus, and then the next person would take the words that are normally in the chorus and make it into a verse. And that's what I'm going to pay homage to today, to the song. You'll notice that sometimes you'll hear a verse that you'll normally hear sung in the chorus, sung in the verse, and things like that. I wanted to pay homage to that. That's the way folk songs are. People hear the songs a year later, try to remember, and they end up messing it up, and people keep on singing that messed up version, and that's folk music. It's passed on from time to time like that. Let's see. And then one thing to note is a lot of people used the song and would change the words a little bit, and then the title became so muddled, like The Little Old Sod Shanty on My Claim, or Little Old Mud Cabin on the Hill. And it's just crazy. This song took me about 2 days to research and find all this and trace the history of the song. But it's interesting. That's what I like to do, to listen to the song. So what I'm going to do is I'll be taking the song today, and I played the guitar, listened to every key, that all these 10, 12 versions from 1908 all the way to 2010 to the boxcars, all the different musical keys they played it in, whether it's in the key of G or the key of A, and the strumming style and the timing, the different lyrical structures they have. And then I took all that, and what happened was I was watching the Marty Stewart show the other night, and Leroy Troy, he's kind of like me. He's collects old folk songs and stuff, and makes his own version and puts it out, and a homage to the old-timey music and stuff. And he sang this song on Marty Stewart show, a real great song, of course, backed up by Marty Stewart and the Fabulous Superlatives. And it fired me up to do a version of this song. I've been wanting to do it. So his version will be heavily inspiring this tonight. If you get watch the Marty Stewart show sometime, his version. I'm going to be musically, structurally, I'm going to be starting the song with the G chord on the guitar will be muted, and it won't be playing until the C chord starts, like he started the song. But the vocals, of course, will be in G and won't be muted. You'll see that when the song starts, and just rewind back if you get it. I just like the way he started it. It took me a couple times to practice it. And so the way he did it, he kind of the same too. Is he took kind of 2 or 3 versions and did a mashup of them. I'm going to take several versions. Actually, I'm going to take how many versions do I do? 5. 4 versions. I'm going to take. I'm going to pay homage to 4 songs throughout the history of this song, from 1909 to the 1920s to the 1930s, and even to like the Boxcars and Leroy Troy of the 2010s. And now musician Shane is going to be doing his version and keep on passing this song. And so far this song is almost 150 years old. It looks like it's going to be going for centuries. And so here it is, The Little Old Log Cabin in the Lane in G by Will S. Hayes. Lyrics arranged and music arranged by musician Shane. And go ahead and hit subscribe and like. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go over the song chord-wise and stuff. It's going to be a real easy song to learn. It's 3 chords in the truth, as I was saying. G, C, and D 7th will be your entire chords. And the chord progression is you're basically G, C, D progression. Just repeat that this next time. Come back to the G, and then you go into the chorus, which we use the same 3 chords, but you go to the C. 2, 3, to G, G, D 7th, G, C, G, D 7th, G. And that's basically it. I'll put the lyrics and the chords below me in the text. You know, you can select them all, copy and paste into word processing, text edit or something, and print it out for you and have it sitting up for you like me. I gotta have the words in front of me. And, you know, basically just follow along. You can always start the video over and over again and rewind once you get the rhythm going down. And, you know, listen to a couple, you know, versions out there, you know, get the song down and have fun with it. And a few things to note. I won't be, the G guitar will be muted when I start the song. I won't start playing till the C, to the word cannot. In the first verse, you'll see the asterisk beside it. So watch out for that. The other thing is I am going to be doing small breaks between verse 1 and verse 2, a small break between verse 2 and verse 3, but then between verse 3 and verse 4 I'm going to be doing a whole instrumental verse for a break. So if you want to feel free to play some lead there. And then right after verse 4 I'm going to play the quick little break, and then I'm going to sing the chorus and then the song, and that chorus is going to be the chorus that we know today, to give homage to the version that is out there today that we all know and love, and a nice cherry on top of that sundae. So let's have some fun. The Little Old Log Cabin in the Lane in G. Oh, I'm getting old and feeble, and I cannot work no more. I've laid the rusty blade and hold a rest. Old master and old Mrs. dead, they're sleeping side by side. Their spirits are now roaming with the blast. Oh, the chimney's falling down and the roof is caving in, and I ain't got long around here to remain. But the angels watching over me when I lay down to sleep in that little old log cabin in the lane. Still I lean about the doorway and I try to sing the songs that I used to sing among the sugar cane. And I'm waiting for the summons, and it'll soon come along to that little old log cabin in the lane. Oh, the chimney's falling down and the roof's caving in, leaves let in the sunshine and the rain. And the only friend I have now is that good old dog of mine and that little old log cabin in the lane. Now the footpath is growed up that once led around the hill. Fences have all gone to decay. The pond, it's done dried up where we once did go and mill. Things have turned its course and not our way. Oh, the chimney's falling down and the roof's all caved in, letting in the sunshine and the rain. But there are angels watching over me when I lay down to sleep in my little old log cabin in the lane. Oh, I ain't got long to stay here, what little time I've got. I want to stay content while I remain, until death shall call this dog and me to find a better home than that little old log cabin in the lane. Yeah, I'm getting old and feeble now, my head is bending low, and I never more will hold the corn again. But the angels, they will lead me when my time has come to go from my little old log cabin in the lane. Oh, the chimney's falling down and the roof's all caved in, letting in the sunshine and the rain. And the only friend that I have now is that good old dog of mine and that little old log cabin in the lane. there it was. The Little Log Cabin in the Lane in G from 1871. Hope you like it. Hit me a like and a subscribe. I'll subscribe back. And leave me a comment. See you next time on the next song in Shane's Public Domain Song series. See ya.